Okay, so partition is completely deleted, and when we continue here by pressing enter to continue setting up Windows XP, it will automatically create a partition. But we can optionally create a partition right now as well too, but I always just press enter to go to the next step. Now right here you can separate these into two categories, quick and not quick. NTFS quick, fat quick, NTFS not quick, fat not quick. You really only need quick. You don't ever need to do the full one unless you're worried about file security and you want to be sure that you're getting a good low-level format, or if you're having specific disk issues, disk partition issues, and you feel that a reformat may help it, you're going to want to do a low-level format, and that's not a quick format. But right now, for the size of disk that we have, we're going to choose NTFS. If you're in the tens of gigabytes on your disks, hundreds of gigabytes, you're going to choose NTFS. If you're running Windows Vista or Windows 7, you're going to run NTFS. And most of the time on Windows XP, if you're running a somewhat modern machine, you're going to run NTFS. That is for lower sized disks, and it really limits the size of files that you can store. It also has some other outdated issues as well too. So we're going to choose NTFS quick. I'm going to highlight it and press enter. Now this will automatically format our new partition. It'll create it to be the C drive. This will go ahead and auto format, and once it's done formatting quickly, it's going to check it real quick, and then it's going to start copying a bunch of files. It's copying all the needed setup files and system files to the hard drive right now. Now this is a pretty lengthy process, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and we'll come back when this is almost done. Okay, we are reaching the final stages here on this step in the installation. Just going to let this finish up here, and after this it's going to restart the computer. It will automatically restart the computer, but you can also press, I believe it's enter, to skip past the automatic. See here, in 15 seconds it'll restart. We can go ahead and just press enter right now and it'll restart right now. Now this time we're not going to boot to CD, so we're not going to press any key right now. We're just going to let this go past. We're done with the CD part of the installation, although we do still need to leave it in. The CD still needs to remain inside of the drive. Okay, we are moving on to phase 2 of the installation. This will take a little while, so once again I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I will come back as soon as something changes. Okay, welcome back, and this is the first dialog box that you'll see pop up. You'll need to click next to continue. Essentially what this is your regional settings. You can click customize here to change your currency, essentially what region of the world you're in. Mainly you're just going to click next here. Type in your name. We're going to do PCB for this, and organization, pcbrain, and hit next here. Next stage is the product key, and I'm going to blur this out real quick while I type in the product key. Now, the product key is provided to you from wherever you purchase the software. So if you bought it in a store, then it's going to be in the box that you got when you purchased it in the store. If you ordered it online, you'll get it in an email or sent with the envelope that this came with, etc., etc. The product key is required. Some versions of Windows will allow you to install it without the product key, but it will kick you off and make you activate after a certain number of days if you do not enter a valid product key within a certain time frame. So once we enter our key, we're going to go to the next page, and right here we can set the name of our computer. This is for later when it will show up on a network what you want the name to be. So we'll just do PCB trial, name it whatever you want, really. It's what's going to be broadcast out on your network. Hit next here, verify your date and time settings. This is wrong, but you're going to want to change it to whatever you want. So time zone and everything. And then there's going to be another short break here. And it's going to apply those settings. And right here, this is part of, I believe, Windows XP Pro only. Home won't ask you this. This is your network settings. We're going to leave everything typical here. The only reason why you need to do custom is if you were installing a specific network setting for your business, and in that case your business's IT department would give you the proper information for this. So we're going to leave it at typical. And we're going to give our work group name. The normal work group default name is just fine. We don't need to change it. But this is for later, again, in networking. That's really what the work group is for. And you can also do a domain. But that is, again, going to be provided by your domain provider, like from your place of business. So you're not going to want to change this unless you know what you're doing or you have a specific task at hand that you need to do. Your work group, if your local network at home has a different work group name, go ahead and change it now. If it doesn't, leaving the default setting is just fine. Now this last step will take a little while. I'm going to go ahead and pause it right now, and we'll be back once this is all set. Okay, we are at the final stages of our setup here, and the computer is going to automatically restart itself. Once it reboots, there's going to be one more step in the setup process. And the time that's passed has been, it's been about 10-15 minutes just to let it run and run. It's basically going to install all the files and set up all the directories that it needs to. And pretty much after this step, Windows is installed and ready to run. And it's going to go ahead and restart the computer right now. So it's going to boot up Windows, but it needs to set up a user account for us. So again, we're going to, of course, skip the CD booting. We're done doing that. And it's going to load up Windows. And we're going to come to the final stages of the setup process. Again, it's basically just getting your user account set up, registration with Microsoft, and also activation as well too, that we'll talk about a little bit. You're always going to see this. It's basically going to try to